be absolutely devastating.
Oh! Here, this is Joey Owens' show. They've been trying to get me on this broadcast forever, and this is the worst damn broadcast I've ever been on. So you all can kiss my ass while I win this match.
All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to Face or Hill Pro Wrestling Talk. I'm Chris Gonzo Gonzalez, joined by OG Tony, Marcus Fine, Justin Terrell, and Big Glenn. What's up, guys?
Doing fantastic.
Hanging in there. Just got done doing a podcast with In Your House, and that was fun. So ready to go, guys. Let's jump right into it. We're going to start off with a little TNA. We're going to start reviewing that. I'm going to do that, and then I asked you guys a little homework to watch a couple of things from TNA and get your thoughts on it. But yeah, I thought TNA was a pretty good show overall. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. I liked the debut of Ricky Sosa, a guy that I never heard of. He's from the Netherlands, Brussels. I think he's got a bright future. He's a young guy. 23, 24 years old. But he wrestled his very first match in TNA in the States. So I thought that's pretty cool. There was some strong matches on the show. I really liked the Moose match that we're going to talk about, the street fight. Enjoyed it. I think TNA is doing a good job. I thought the show was put together well. I thought it had really good backstage segments and interviews. I think they really have found their footing, and I think they're doing a fantastic job. So, again, I enjoyed the show. And let's jump into you guys. And the Moose Revenge begins with a street fight against Cedric Alexander. Marcus, let's go to you first and see what you thought of that match.
Okay. I thought it was all right. I will have to admit, TNA's on AMC, right?
Yes.
What I've seen, their production is getting a lot better than it was that very first show we watched. So
Yes.
They're finally figuring out what they need to do. So I was impressed with these two little things I had to watch. I think Moose looks like a version of Apollo Starr in his younger years. That's kind of the vibe I got out of him. I thought it was funny for a street fight that the crowd's yelling for tables. Come on, it's a street fight. Go bigger.
Yeah.
The tables. It's like, yeah, you use a table, but don't chant for tables. Chant for trash cans, kendo sticks, barbed wire, violets. I mean, come on, we want violets. We don't want tables.
That's the thing, though. What's up, Josh?
Hey, what's up, Josh?
How's it going, Josh?
That's the thing now, man. They want to. Hi, Kelly. They definitely want the tables, no matter what. Unfortunately,
I thought it was okay. I mean, I wasn't very impressed with who's the other player.
Cedric Alexander
and Moose. I wonder what I got that set for. Anyhow, the power bomb to the apron was pretty impressive. The power bomb on the bottom of the trash can.
Yes,
dude.
Had you ever seen that before?
That.
I've never seen that before.
No, and I don't know how he didn't bust his spine in half. The superplex one of the chairs was pretty good. The mid-air spear was good. And the spear in the table was all right. But for an actual street fight, I thought it was okay. But you don't know what they got to hold back for AMC, too. So,
yeah, that's true.
It was good for what they had there. It wasn't pay-per-view quality, but it was decent for a weekly show. So,
okay. And Chris, what'd you think?
I liked it. I do agree with Marcus. That was one of the things I thought too was some of the weapons. Like some of the weapons aren't weapons that you would think of a street fight. It's like if you're going to call it a street fight, let's incorporate some stuff you might see in a street fight. That trash can spot I'd never seen, but no, I did like though that they said it was a street fight and there was weapons. They were outside the ring. It wasn't just like one little weapon spot and then a fall. Yeah. Like we've seen street fights before that really wouldn't. I did like that they were out of the ring, like they were using weapons. I just like to see more variety of little different choices of weapons. But no, I liked it. I thought it was a good match. I do agree with Marcus. I think TNA's production has gotten better. but I think some of that is due to their like partnership thing with that they've been doing with WWE, and I think that's been helping out. But yeah, I enjoyed the match.
Okay, Big Glenn.
I enjoyed the match wholeheartedly. I feel like TNA's on the come up and stuff. Obviously, they got to deal with AMC. They're inside a lot of households right now, and the match itself was fantastic, man. But man, I tell you what, every time I watch a Moose match, man, my back hurts. Myself watching him and his back issues, So some of those bumps that he'd be taking on these trash cans and everything else, man, it's painful to watch. But man, that's a bad dude right there.
Yeah, Josh, you're right. Crowds been it's pretty much conditioned. That's what they yell for the same thing over and over. And then we're gonna be talking about AEW here in a little bit. Yeah, I don't know if it's worth talking about, but we're gonna talk about it a little bit.
I heard this week's show wasn't near as good as last week's Dynamite.
It was a rough one. It was a rough one. Okay.
It was Dynamite, but not in a good way.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with Dynamite.
Justin, what do you think of the Moose match?
I thought the street fight was good. I think it sets up to build the story a little bit more. With him going after I almost said the bloodline, but the system.
Yeah.
But the thing that confused me a little bit, maybe I need to go back and watch it a little bit more, is why Alicia Edwards was with Moose. Like, I know they were part of the system, but
yep,
she's married to Eddie Edwards. So to me,
yeah. When the system turned on him, she didn't know they was going to turn, and she took Moose aside.
Right
now, she'll probably end up turning on Moose in the end, but yeah.
And that's where I was getting at too. Like throughout the whole match, I just felt like, I was waiting for it. Like, I was waiting for her to turn. I was waiting for her to stab him in the back and stuff like that. But yeah, I thought, it was well done going outside the ring, throwing in moves. You didn't have to go all out for it because it was just a normal televised match. Yeah. But it was, the story was told that it needed to be told. And I think it just sets up for the next phases of the story of him going after the system. I think that we're going to get personally, we're going to get the turn when the Alicia turn when he fights Eddie.
Yep. That's what I think too. I think you're probably right. I would agree with you 100%. Let's switch gears and talk a little bit about the new viral sensation, Ricky Sosa. Wanted to get you guys' thoughts on him, a guy that I had never seen before. I'd heard about him. I had never seen him. Chris, let's go with you first. What did you think of this young guy? Can't hear you, Chris.
Oh, no, I saw I was muted.
He was muted.
I had a moment. But anyway, I didn't see that one. I watched the half-assed. I watched the Bret Hart.
Did he say he always does his homework?
That's what I said.
I did all of it, but one little piece.
Okay. All right. We'll go to Justin next.
I didn't see the Sosa part.
I really liked the performance of Ricky Sosa. I didn't know much about him, and then I seen the match. I thought the match was phenomenal. I thought whoever they chose as the local talent to take him on, or maybe that's another talent signed by TNA. But I really like him. I really like what he does. One thing I don't know if I really like. I don't know if I like the springboard moonsault. I thought there was a spot there where he almost landed on his head. But overall, I thought he was a solid match and a very good debut. Sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once.
I understand. I know you got kids. I understand. Yeah. Also, the big thing that he went viral for, guys, is his entrance. The crowd likes to chant along with them and stuff, so that's kind of big too. But let's go to Marcus. Marcus, what do you think of
Well,
young Ricky Sosa?
I didn't watch it. No,
Oh.
I watched it. I think he'd be good to team with Javon Evans, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
The way those guys flip, flap, and flop, or whatever it's called. I like these opponents' name, Brad Attitude. That's just like, oh, wow, that's so simple but so unique. I like his spinning wheel kick. I did like the moonsault, but Justin's right. He about creamed himself. The Blue Thunder finishing maneuver was very interesting. And I like how he caught the guy and flipped him around like 3 or 4 times before he dropped him. For some guy so damn skinny, he must have a great center of balance to be able to pull that off. So he's going to go far. I'm curious to see how he does here in the next year. So
yeah, very, very good get for TNA. I mean, first match in North America, like I said, from the Netherlands, Brussels. The other thing about him too, like you said, he's slender, but he's 6'4". He's very tall. Big Glenn, your thoughts?
I tell you what, I think these two, Javon Evans and Ricky Sosa, were separated from the birth at womb or something. You know, because they are so much alike.
Great tag team.
Yeah, it's amazing how talented this guy is and stuff. So, I wouldn't be surprised if he shows up like on NXT in like the next year or something like that. Because I know WWE's gonna want him.
Yeah, they're going to be looking at him. There's no doubt about that. Okay, guys, let's move on to our SmackDown talk with Justin. What'd you think of SmackDown, Mr. Terrell?
I'm almost there. Let's see. I had it written down. So we had started off. I love this. This is the Marcus Fine and Glenn favorite segment. We had the Bellas make a return. They decided that they're
hold up.
We're going after the tag title.
I gotta stop you right there.
We're going after the tag titles.
Shit, they need to go to retirement. That's what they need to do.
We had Drew. We had Drew McIntyre come out and say, you know what, I'm done. See ya. And then he, obviously came back and attacked Fatu. Match results: we had the Wyatt Six defeat Tama Tonga and Solo Sikoa. Jade Cargill beat Michin. Last Legend and Nia Jax defeated Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss due to the Bella Twins. R-Truth and Damian Priest defeated LaGarza. Tiffany Stratton defeated Kiana James, which I thought that was a pretty solid match. I almost thought that could have easily been the match of the night of the show, but Trick Williams defeated Jacob Fatu due to McIntyre. I thought was really solid as well. And then obviously Jelly Roll making his appearance. He wanted to be a part of. I think he's going to end up being a part of WrestleMania, whether it's a tag match or him against The Miz in general. But overall, I thought it was a solid show. I'd say 7.5, 8. It's definitely feeling like Mania season. And then we also got to talk about the Legend Killer returning.
Yeah, that was the real shit to talk about.
Randy Orton destroying Cody Rhodes, and then later saying, that wrestling has more than one royal family. I jab at Cody. I'm kind of hoping and waiting to see that we get the reveal of what he was talking about on Friday. I personally think it might be Rick or it might be Charlotte. I think those are my two guesses. I don't see anybody coming back from that or anybody else out of that unless he goes deep into maybe calling guys from Birthright or somebody completely out of the blue.
Well, when we get to Raw, we'll talk about that because I got a guess on who that's going to be. I love the segment, man. It was outstanding. I was very old school, very Dusty Rhodes type segment. Honestly, so if I thought it was kind of Dusty Rhodes, I'm going to love it. So I thought it was really good. Anybody else got any comments on SmackDown before we move on?
That shit was fucking amazing.
And I give that show an 8 also. I give it an 8. So I enjoyed it. Real quick, just to make Marcus and Big Glenn really happy, it was revealed today that the Bella
happy.
Twins, yeah, I'm make you happy. They signed a 2-year contract, started at the Royal Rumble. So they'll be around for the next 2 years, guys.
Oh, that's even better.
I just wanted to make them happy. So,
Yeah.
I don't have to watch it.
Shit.
I heard Marcus. I heard they were going to buy you VIP tickets to
Hey,
their.
I'll tell you, if they do, I'll go. What the
Shit,
hell?
if they give me
If
VIP
they want
tickets,
their picture
I
taken
s-
with me, and I have the opportunity, hell yeah, I'll take my picture with the Bella Twins.
Yeah.
Right now. I don't give a shit about them. So.
you know, I would take that.
They're going to have you be his. They're going to have you be their manager.
Okay,
Shit,
I'll take it.
if they don't have me the manager, I'll turn them so quick and go join Tiff if I care or something.
Either Paige wants his picture taken with me, hell yeah, I'll take my picture with either Paige. But
yeah. All right, guys, let's move
But-
on to some. Go ahead.
The only way you can get it, Marcus, is say they're the greatest tag team of all time.
well, when that time
Oh,
comes, we'll
hey.
cross that bridge.
I don't have to say it sincerely though, so.
Yeah,
All
they're
right,
good. They're good.
Let's move on to some Monday Night Raw talk. Chris, what'd you think of Monday Night Raw?
Yeah, I thought Raw was pretty good. Pretty good. Excuse me, pretty good this week. I love the opening. Of course, you had the 30 masked guys again, which, like you said, Triple H is going to keep throwing that in everybody's face that's complaining about the masked guys. But
I don't know. We may not see the masked guys anymore after Brock.
but I loved Brock Lesnar coming out and then Oba Femi coming out, getting that face off, and Oba ended up attacking him. Brock Lesnar selling and facial expressions during that whole segment was awesome. Paul Heyman on the side yelling no, and you get that wide camera shot was great.
Paul Heyman's face.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
The way they made it up.
How rough they had him look at that shit. Yeah, his eye. Like,
real quick on that.
everything about that whole opening segment was awesome. But
Yeah. Real quick
getting over
on
and
that.
Brock finally really paid it off.
Let me interrupt for 1 second. It's the little things because that was important. He got his face smashed in 2 weeks ago, and he comes out and looks like that. I just got done watching a death match, Texas death match on AEW, and the guy breaks a pane of glass, puts it all in the middle of the ring, takes the guy, body slams him into the glass, drags him through the glass, not a scratch on him or no blood.
Yeah.
Jordan James had more blood on him when Funny Bone running him around through those tacks. Then
Yeah. I mean, nothing on his back. So I mean, it's the little things. I mean, I'm not saying I want the guy to get hurt or anything, but
If you're going to present it like that, then yeah.
it's the little things. There should be something from it. Sorry, Chris. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh no, you're fine. But no, I thought the opening was great. I really liked that segment. Heyman was great during it. I thought Lesnar selling was real good as well. After that, you had the Americano match. I thought that was pretty solid. I'm ready for them to get to the payoff of that. AJ Lee versus Bailey. It was okay. I thought it was a little sloppy. There was times where they were having to slow down for each other, and I don't know. It just seemed like, and I don't think it was. I think Bailey was out of position a couple times, more than it was AJ Lee out of position. I thought it'd be the other way around, but I didn't think that was the strongest match. Trying to remember which match was next. Oh, we had Natty and Maxine Dupree. It was all right, but I mean, like I said, to me, they're just trying to make Natty a Timu version of Ronda Rousey. Is kind of what that is to me. I know they're trying to rebrand her. I get it, but it just it ain't my cup of tea. Love the closing. Love the CM Punk and Roman Reigns stuff. The Punkamaniacs comment by Pug had me cracking up when he said that. And then Roman even as the credits are on and they pulling Punk back and Roman in the ring kind of talking to himself, talking about how he was in Punk's head and just one little thing and look, he snapped. I thought that was well done. And then the women's championship match was pretty good. Raquel Rodriguez has gotten a lot better, but there's still times where she gets in a little bit of a rush and it causes her to make a couple little fumbles. But I thought that was a real solid match as well. That Vaquer's freaking good.
Yes, she is.
But yeah, I thought I'd give Raw probably an 8.5. I thought it was a real solid show.
Yeah, I give it 8.5. I thought it was the show of the week. Also, another match you may have missed over, but it was really good. Penta and Dragon Lee.
Oh yeah, Penta and Dragon Lee was real good.
Yeah, it was fantastic. So yeah, I thought it was a good show. I agree with you, Chris. Let's move on to Mr. Marcus.
And real quick,
sorry.
Danhausen stuff when he came out there, that was hilarious too. Oh, dude, he saw I moved out of the way and he was taking his shirt off and shit.
Danhausen is killing it, man. He is killing it. He absolutely killing it.
They had me cracking up. Was it Waller? Isn't that who it was? Was Waller and Kingston?
Kingston, yeah.
He's like, I got behind you as a shield. And dude started taking his shirt off.
Yeah. Okay, Marcus, let's do some NXT.
All right, they were on the road. Booker T Appreciation Night, Houston, Texas. Started out with the NXT Ladies Title Triple Threat match. JC Jane retained against Sol Ruka and Zarya. I give it a 3 out of 5. It was an okay match, but they're more focusing on the feud between Sol Ruka and Zarya more than they were that match. So
stand and deliver, baby. Let's go.
So it's funny how JC was just kind of standing there waiting on the other two to start mixing it up and then haul off and super kick one of them. I love how Zarya hangs her opponents from either the top rope over the edge or from the top turnbuckle, kind of hang onto their neck and let them kind of dangle. She did that to both of them. I liked how there was going to be a pin attempt, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Sol Ruka comes flying in there and landing on him. Just beautiful, beautiful. The black flip off the top rope was good. Then we had commercials. I don't know who in the hell decides when to put all that in there, but then you had to come back and it got Sol and Zarya facing off like we expected. I love Zarya's spears. And then Sol did a spear. Zarya did all the work, but JC got the pin. So she got the pin off of Zarya's work. So again, 3 out of 5. It wasn't set up to be a tag or a title match. It was more set up to get the feud going between Sol and Zarya, I think.
Yeah.
And that seems to be what they kind of were focusing on there. Then you had these little skits with Ricky Saints and Ethan Page and Joe Henry in there trying to get them two to fight each other. That was kind of funny. Ended up finding out that Ricky Saints is going to take on Tony D'Angelo next week, and that'll be interesting to see what happens there. Then you had I thought it was a very funny match, the 6-man tag team with the Los Americanos taking on the Vanity Project. The Los Americanos won it. It was very, very funny. That's all I could say. Jackson Drake did an awesome German and a 450. It was a decent match, and all 6 guys worked very well together. Vanity Project, I call them dorks, but they're actually doing very well as a team.
They are.
They're doing what they're supposed to be doing. So,
yeah, they're coming up quick.
Yeah. Then they showed some Booker T highlights for the Booker T Appreciation Night. And then I was waiting on Carver to show up, and he did. And then, of course, all hell broke loose there. So, and then all of a sudden, during all that bullshit, I wouldn't say bullshit. During all that, then they decided to do a picture-in-picture.
Yeah.
And now they're doing a damn commercial where they're talking about Pizza Hut and Burger King and everything else, and you can't see what the hell they're trying to highlight on the TV. Yeah. So who knows how the ending of that, what they were all saying at the end of that, because we almost missed the speed tournament because the speed tournament was only 5 minutes and we were still in picture-in-picture when they started that. So,
yep.
Marcus said they put more bullshit on bullshit.
It don't make sense when they decide to do picture-in-picture. It's like, Okay, so you didn't do it for the ladies triple threat. You actually went to a commercial, full commercial, but then you're sitting there trying to promote stuff, and then you do a picture, and you're having to listen about Burger King and all that. But
Have you eaten yet?
well, they do a lot of that. And even Glenn made a statement about Panda Express, although that shit does look good. But
Yeah.
Anyway,
Kung Pao chicken.
What's that?
Kung Pao chicken, baby.
Yeah.
I love some Kung Pao chicken.
Red Sinclair did win via submission. She is the new speed champion. I love that submission she has. They can't really tap. They got their hands behind their back and they just kind of wail them because there is no tapping because she can't cure it. So
yeah, it was fantastic.
Birthright beat Hank and Tank. The only thing I don't like about NXT at this current moment is there's just too many freaking people at ringside during all these matches.
Yep.
Everybody's got to come out with a whole parade of people, and everybody gets to stand out there. And you're more focused on everybody on the outside than you're focused on what's supposed to be going on the inside. It's like sit everybody back and focus on what's supposed to happen here. But anyhow, Birthright won. They advanced in the tag team tournament. How many Shamrock NXT shirts you think they sold? Because a lot of the players had them on. So
Okay.
you know they're selling those shirts big time in that arena that night.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Eventually they sold a bunch of them.
Yeah, Josh, you're right. That submission is a wild submission. I love it.
It is. I love it too. And then we have where we at the cage match.
Yep.
Tatum Paxley retains against Izzy Dane. I thought it was a decent, like I told Tony, for a weekly show cage match. It was very well done. For a PL, if it was a PLE, it would have fallen short. But
Okay.
I thought it was a decent match. They only used one chair, and I'm trying to remember what I got down here. Oh, the cemetery dive, and then she retained the title. But the best part of the whole thing is she's celebrating on the ramp, and Blake Monroe pops the trap door up and drags her down under the stage and shows the title, and away they went.
Yeah, that was very well done.
Interesting did. I give it maybe a 7 out of 10.
Okay, I was with you. I give it a 7.5, but yeah, I'm pretty much with you. I enjoyed it.
Hey, Dad, something I forgot to mention on Raw was the Randy Orton segment when he was supposed to do that live interview. And
yes, I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, good
And
Tony.
then he also said there's more to one royal family in wrestling.
Okay.
He made that comment again on that. I thought I like that, but he was on the phone with somebody.
Yeah.
So
Who do you think it is, Chris?
I'm trying to think who it would be. The only thing I really came up with was kind of what Justin said, that maybe it's Ric Flair, and Flair's will come out with him at WrestleMania with him going forward. He's going forward. It'd be like 15th or 16th. 15th.
Yeah, 15th. 15th. Flair's a possibility. I don't know what the relationship was. He was signed with AEW. I don't know if Flair still is. You've got the Charlotte factory that could come in. People online are saying The Rock.
What, second generation?
Well, I'll tell you somebody came to mind, but it ain't going to happen because he's going to prison or whatever.
Yeah.
DiBiase Jr. Because when he said that, I was thinking, going back for because of legacy back in the day. But with all the stuff going with DiBiase Jr., I don't think it ain't going to be him.
You bring up the royal family. What came to mind to me immediately was his dad.
Yeah, what about his dad? Yeah.
Yeah, his dad, because his dad was a second generation, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's true.
So you three generations.
He's a third, yes.
Third generation. So that's what came to mind to me. Now, for me, I think that's perfect. For the fans, the young fans, they're not going to probably get it. They want The Rock or all this crazy shit. Flair would be okay, but I can see it being Orton's dad. That wouldn't surprise me a bit. But what I think would be cool if it's Orton's dad, and then you get to Mania and Cody goes ballistic and you get a double turn. He goes ballistic on his dad and just about kills his dad. And I think get a double turn. I think something like that would be really cool. But I think it's Randy's dad. That's who I think it is.
Yeah, I think it is too. Just listen to what you guys said. So
And I know Justin thought it's Flair. And it could be Flair because I mean that 15 time, you know, some people thought well maybe it could be Triple H.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to go that direction again, but so all right. Yeah, I thought yeah, Marcus, I pretty much agreed with you on your score. Big Glenn. Let's do a
Lord,
little AEW.
Lord have mercy, man. That cinematic car crash that took place at the start of that coffin match between Darby Allin and I forget the other guy was a perfect example of how Dynamite was last night. Because I watched most of the first hour, and after Swerve got done talking about Twinkle Toes, Kenny Omega, I was like, the hell with this. It was really that bad. I mean, I'm not really an AEW guy, obviously, but a little bit of the scene was all right. Darby Allin's going to do Darby Allin, which is great. But yeah, I really didn't care for it, honestly. I can't. Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, Dynamite was rough, guys. There was one thing on the show that
Yeah.
it was rough.
I knew it was bad when you and Glenn got on the show last night, and that was one of the first things you said.
It was rough.
How bad it was. I knew it was bad. But
Well,
it had to be
nice.
really bad if Josh wanted to be in a coma.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I will say
it.
though, Revolution, that main event was crazy as fuck. And that was that I love the hell out of that, and I love the reaction that I got because there were some dudes in the crowd at the pan too. That was like, I was like, yeah, it's one of those kinds of matches. But yeah,
it was a crazy match, but man, 46 minutes that match was.
Yeah, I was like, damn, this is almost an hour long.
Yeah. But going back to AEW, the show this week, it was a rough one, guys. I don't give much lower than 6 because I try to be nice and try to be fair as I can. I give it a 6. I know Hollywood House give it a 4.5, and I think Josh was with me with about a 6. And Hollywood was not happy. There was something really good on the show, and that was MJF. MJF's promo. It was taped after that match, and he's still all bloody and stuff, and it was really good. Other than that, there wasn't a whole lot of real good on the show, guys. I'm just being honest with you. It was a rough watch. Hopefully, they'll come back stronger next week. But I'm worried because their next pay-per-view is in 3 weeks, and they got off to a terrible start this week to build for it. So we'll see. I just try to be fair. I'm not a sicko. I watch everything.
Yeah. I can't rate it honestly. I want to rate it 0, but I didn't even watch the whole thing.
I want to rate it 0.
As low as it can go.
Listen, this was just a complete waste of fucking time.
I mean, that's honestly what I felt like because, like, I was like I was saying, I started when the John Moxley had that match. Then you had the coffin match, and that was like, who gives a shit? Then Swerve came out to do his thing with Kenny Omega, and I was like, fuck this.
Yeah, the MJF promo was definitely worth a watch, though. It was very good. MJF, outstanding.
Yeah, MJF is awesome. I like MJF.
Oh yeah. Hey, we never went. Yeah, we remember AEW ended a couple years ago, and I went, and that video that I got with MJF, he was letting everybody get a picture. Yeah. But my silly ass was working his ass, and he decided to work me. So he said, "Follow the idiot," and he pushed me. That's the greatest thing I've ever had an interaction with, honestly, besides Stephanie, if I care. But
I know you like. I know you like Stephanie.
Oh, most definitely.
Okay, guys, let's go to our old school match. Our old school match for this week was 1994 SummerSlam. Bret Hart and Owen Hart in the steel cage match. Let's go to Chris. He says he watched it, so let's go to Chris.
Well, we have to find out if he did or not.
Justin, if you were talking, we cannot hear you.
His mic must be sneaky again.
Well, I saw him go in and out a couple times, but then
I
saw that he just put a message. But yeah, if you're if you are talking, we're not hearing it.
Yep. So, Chris, what'd you think?
Uh, no, it was I thought it was a great match. As soon as it started, I kind of remembered it from watching it years ago. Of course, it's two of my favorite guys. Stone Cold Steve Austin, Bret Hart was always two of my favorites, and Owen was right there with them. I think Owen was going to be better, maybe even a bigger star than what Bret was if, of course, the accident wouldn't have happened. But no, I loved it. I love the old blue cage. One thing I loved about the match too, and you don't see it in modern day cage matches much, and I think some of it is. Oh no, there's two Justins, so I was switching them out to see if that one done any different. But
Hear me.
Well, I can't barely can deal with one Justin. I want two fucking Justins.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there
Yes.
you go.
Yeah, there you
there you are.
I don't know what's going on,
go.
but there's two of me. I like that.
No, I don't.
But no, something I did like about that match that you don't see in a lot of the new or modern day cage matches is the going over the top and the first one to hit the floor to win or out the door. But like during that match, there was a lot of attempts to go over the top of the cage, and the guy going up to bringing him down. Like that was one of the intriguing things about a cage match back in the day was you had the guy trying to get away and the guy trying to keep him in. And you don't ever see that hardly anymore in cage matches now. A lot of them are cage match and it's a pinfall. They're not even trying to escape the cage anymore. So I like that. I like a lot of the false finishes or whatever you want to call them, where they're trying to escape.
Or like that one match that we had that Marcus gave us a few months ago, where it was that Teddy DiBiase Macho Man match, and the fans trying to climb up the cage.
Justin must have had a problem again. He dropped out again. Yeah. There he is. But yeah, I liked it. Like I said, as soon as I started watching it, like it started clicking back in my head. I kind of started remembering what was going to happen and stuff. And I thought that was pretty cool because, like I said, I'd have been 14. Yeah, 14 when that SummerSlam took place.
Yeah, I'll go next. It's one of I forgot some of it after watching it, man. It was so great, man. Like Chris said, the finishes, trying to go out the door. I mean, they just did a fantastic job of putting that match together. Might have been a little long, but I really loved it, man. But them two dudes, two of the best workers of all time. How would you guys? What do you think, Chris, Marcus? You guys, how would you rank that as a cage match? Is that top 10? I think so.
Definitely.
I think maybe top 5.
I would have it top 10.
I'd have probably top 3.
Really?
Yeah,
It was really good.
It'd be up there with the Hell in a Cell of Mankind and Undertaker.
I wish WWE would bring back the old blue cage. I wish they bring back,
even if it's not the old blue cage, make it black because they went to the black.
Yeah, it could be black or blue. I don't care what, just that style cage.
Yeah, I agree that style cage was the best style for. Because it was different in WWE. I thought the match was really good. You had the story between the brother versus brother, the jealous brother, the envious brother. I thought they should have pulled the trigger then on Owen. I thought Owen should have got it then, even if it was a short run. I thought the story could have used it, but they showed why that match needed to be in a cage. They used the cage as a weapon. They told us, they used it not just as a weapon, but they really used it throughout the match to show the severity of the match and why they needed to have this. And I thought it was phenomenal. And like Chris, and I've always been a huge advocate, and I've always said that Owen will always be better than Bret. I personally think that Owen was the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
Okay.
Owen was ahead of his time. Like
he really was.
He could do stuff nobody else had ever done or could do at the time.
that's another thing that they did, and I think Brett and Owen had something to do, but I think Vince don't get enough credit. I think they did a great job of telling the story with the family too, outside the ring. You know, using the hearts and using their
Neidhart.
parents and you Neinhard and British Bulldog. I thought they did a real good job with that, and I think Vince had a lot to do that because Vince is very hands on, especially at that time. So Vince don't get enough credit for that. I know he's nuts, but. Uh, yeah, I thought that was really good. Let's go to Big Glenn next.
Man, I tell you what, between the matches they had at WrestleMania 10 earlier in the year and this cage match, I think the cage match is the better of the two because I mean it's kind of long, but the story was told so well that you were emotionally invested in it, and the match was fantastic. Obviously, 5 stars out of 5 stars. But the problem with that Owen and Neidhart cut after the match was freaking gold. I
Okay.
can't remember what was said, but I just remember what it was, and it's like because the family come in, everything else, yeah.
Okay, and let's go to Marcus.
Okay. Now 3 pages of stuff. Where do you want me to start? Okay. Well,
Wherever
we'll
you
start with the blue
start.
cage. See, now I like the blue cage because you could do so much more with the blue cage. I mean, Owen couldn't have grabbed Brett's leg on the outside of the ring with the cages they have today
No.
because Brett was over the outside 2 or 3 times, and Owen literally reached through the cage to grab his leg. In today's cages, you can't do that. And the finish where Owen was hanging, I don't think Owen could have hung off the cage for the finisher with today's cages. So yeah, I love those old blue cages. Of course, I'm going to bitch right off the bat that Bret Hart should not have been champion because when Owen pinned Bret at WrestleMania 10, Owen was now the #1 contender. He should have went on to the main event, not Bret. It should have been Owen and Yoko, and then one of them should have been in that cage as the champ because Owen beat the #1 contender. Owen should have been the guy that went to the main event at WrestleMania, but we know that didn't happen.
Yes.
I got sick and tired of seeing the freaking Hart family sitting ringside for every damn match that they ever had with Hart. I mean, I really did. Oh, here you hear
I agree.
Jerry Lawler bitch about Helen Hart.
Tell us how you really feel, Marcus.
Yeah.
Where's
Go hold back, Marcus.
Stone Cold Steve Austin, 1997.
Well, how many times do you need to hear Jerry Lawler bitch about how ugly hell it is, and how many times do you need to look at Stu Hart looking like he's falling asleep at ringside? I mean,
I agree. I agree with you, Marcus. Except I thought it fit this match. They did it in a lot of matches.
well, they
So
didn't
I
even
agree with
mention
you.
that Martha was sitting there.
Yep.
Martha was sitting behind her on the Stu along with Odes. They never even brought her up, and she's
They-
sitting there as well.
They never did bring her up, and I don't think ever.
But at the end, when Neidhart went and clotheslined the hell out of the back of the Bulldog and knocked his wife over that, and then of course here comes everybody. What kept the rest of the fans from jumping the guardrails?
Yep.
I mean, if you didn't know that was the Hart family,
Yeah.
and everybody said, "Hey, they jumped the guardrails," I get to jump the guardrails. But anyhow, okay, we'll go back to the match. The match was beautiful. Beautiful. The way they were going back and forth, again, telling the story, how many times they were over the top, getting drugged back over the top. I really think cage matches should be over the top. I don't agree with going through the door.
I agree.
You want to win that match, earn the match. Walking out the door is not earning the match. Climb over the top and go to the floor. I like the fact that although they were fighting back and forth trying to go out that door, it seemed like Owen was trying to fly out the door and Bret would drag him in, and then Bret would fly over to the door and Owen would drag him in. That shit was funny. So
I thought they used it very well, though.
the storyline was perfect. Yes, it was a 30-minute match, but it didn't seem in my head that it went 30 minutes
No.
the way we were so involved in watching that. They knew how to use the cage as a weapon. Let me read through this. Fighting at the door. Bret was in the wrong corner trying to go out a door that wasn't there because he was disoriented. The suplexes, of course, Bret could always do a good suplex. I mean, they really give it their all. And being brother and brother and growing up, I think it was more of a shoot. I mean, they weren't holding back. They literally were landing those punches. So I give it a 10-star.
Yeah,
I mean, it's probably one of the best cage matches that has ever happened. So,
well, guys, I don't know what you think, but to me, storytelling, whether it's outside the ring or inside the ring, is a lost art. I mean, we just don't get the storytelling like we used to get, and that's all wrestling. I mean, AEW this week, somebody tried to say on a podcast I watched, well, this show wasn't real good, but it had great storytelling in it. They're setting up stuff, and I'm like I told them guys on your house, I said, where the fuck was the storytelling at? Because I didn't see any.
If it had great storytelling, it'd been a good show.
well, that's what I'm saying. If it's not a good show, but they have good story, then you
Honestly,
can't have
I
that.
don't think I've seen a show that had great storytelling and was a bad show.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, perfect example. Even though I thought the pay per view was pretty good, and I give it a pretty good. I give it a 7.5. Could have been a 9 if they would have cut it some and did a few things different. Because it was a lot of good action in that pay per view. It was too long, almost 4 hours and 45 minutes, almost too long. But the thing of it is, they just try to do too much.
12 seed just took out a 5 seed at 165 pounds.
They try to do too much, and it gets lost. But yeah, I thought. Well, I know what my point was. I watched Monday Night Raw, and what they did with Brock Lesnar and Obafemi was more of an impact than anything on that pay per view. I thought what they did with Cody and Randy, the storytelling they did at the end of that show on SmackDown, was better than anything on that pay per view. Just my opinion, but I'm an old school wrestling fan too. And them were moments, them were segments. They weren't matches, but it was storytelling. I mean, if you watch Brock Lesnar raise his head up and tell Oba, "Put your foot on my chest," and he does.
Oba's gonna be that dude, man.
Well,
I should say he is
well,
that
if
dude.
you watch when Oba gets Brock up, Brock was talking to Oba.
Tell him, yeah, he was.
He was talking to Oba as Oba was getting him up to get ready to hit him with that power bomb.
Yep.
Well, then what about Dom? I mean, we watched it. I think Dom wrestles better at AAA than he ever did in WWE.
Yeah, but you know what?
That was fantastic.
He was supposed to wrestle on Raw, but he got a concussion from that match from AAA. But they think he's going to be fine. I mean, he's not going to miss much time. He was going to
wrestle Penta, wasn't he?
He's going to wrestle Penta on Raw, but they had to do a substitution because he got a concussion.
And Dragon Lee was a good substitute.
And I think Bayley did very good on that too.
Yeah, she did. That was a good match. Her and Flammer, whatever her name is. I thought it was it was a pretty good show. The second part's this weekend. I guess they do 3 parts. They're doing like a 3-part show. Must have taped it, I guess. The rest of it, I don't know.
No, it's a 3-part live event. It's the Ray Day Rays. Yeah, it's the Ray Day Rays like festival type thing.
Okay.
Or something like that.
Just to give you guys a reminder real quick, and then I got one little topic and we'll get out of here. Our match for old school match for next week, CM Punk versus Raven. Dog collar match. You can find it on YouTube. It's 33 minutes and 3 seconds, but you can cut out some of that on the front end because there's some talking, some CM Punk cutting a promo. So you can cut some of that out if you don't want to see that. But the last topic I had, guys, was Ricochet. Ricochet going crazy on the internet. He has been for a while. When he got over to AEW, he was complaining all the time about how he was treated in WWE and so mistreated and everything. Well, finally calmed down on that. And a lady, I don't remember her name, so I'm not going to try to say it because I don't remember her name, but commented on that he needs work on his promos, that he hadn't got any better on his promos. He needed work on his acting. He hadn't got any better. And this lady has MS, and Vincent reports that she's even dying of MS. He sent a message back to her that he's glad that she had MS. So the internet community, not some of the dirt sheets who are so far up AEW's ass, they won't say nothing. They didn't report it. They didn't jump on it, but finally, some. I tell you who really got it going was the real popular TV show, the Dirt Sheet show, but not wrestling show. Oh hell, I can see the guy's
TMZ.
name.
TMZ.
TMZ.
Yep,
Yeah,
TMZ.
TMZ jumped on it, and then it really started gaining traction. And
Yeah,
I
TMZ is
guess
definitely a dirt sheet. That's for damn sure.
definitely. And I guess a friend of Ricochet called him and said, "Hey man, I think it'd be a wise move to take that down." So he took it down. At least that's the report that AEW or the network didn't make him do it. But then he apologized, and that they didn't make him apologize. He did it on their own. But I guess the TV network and them did tell him they thought it was a good idea, or they're glad that he did it. It was a good idea that he did it. But my point of view when I was on the other show earlier with Josh and House was you had now I'm gonna have a brain fart. Oh, Trey Miguel, who said something 7 years ago, homophobic stuff, and he gets fired. He gets hired and fired 3 days later. But you got Ricochet saying stuff like this and nothing, it's fine. So I want to get you guys' take. First of all, do you think, I know he's a heel, but do you think you're overstepped? I think he overstepped wishing somebody had MS. I mean, there's a lot of people out there with MS, and it could take and I think it would be different. I've seen MJF on camera at a signing tell somebody in a wheelchair if they want him to sign something to stand up. So I think you can be offensive. I think it's in context. Marcus, I'm gonna go to you first. You're an old school wrestling fan. Marcus, do you think that?
You think he crossed the line? Yes.
Yeah, I do too.
I think he crossed the line. I mean, MJF telling somebody to stand up, chances are he went ahead and signed it anyway. He was just being kind of funny in his own way.
Yeah.
No, there's certain things you should not be talking about.
Yep.
And that's one of them. So, yeah, he crossed the line. So, yeah, I agree 100% that he should never have said that.
Yeah, I agree. And I think he should be held accountable. I think he should be off. I think he should be off.
Absolutely.
I think he should be off TV for a while. I really do.
I'll give you my opinion on it, Tony.
Go ahead.
People's life conditions shouldn't be used for wrestling heels in that way or whatever. Especially when it comes to social media, because when you post it on social media, you are leaving open to interpretation and debate. And
it doesn't go away.
Yeah, it doesn't
30
go away.
years from now,
lives forever.
Look what Hogan. Hogan made a racial slur. They never let him forget it.
Yep.
Once it's out there, it's out there. You can't take it back.
Yes.
So
that's right. I agree 100%. Chris, what do you think?
I agree that he crossed the line, but for a little bit different reason than what you guys are saying. If this was done at a wrestling show in person and you're talking shit back and forth to each other, yes. I wouldn't have problems. That's part of the wrestling. But when it's done over social media, just like in a blanket, like just a blank post like that, I think you're crossing the line. But I think it's context, because like if it happens at a show, like you see fans saying some vile shit to heels, and they say shit back, and hey, everything's cool. But you're in person, and there's the context. Where when you're doing it over social media like that, there is no context. And to me, he came off kind of like a crybaby because a lady's critiquing him a little bit, and then you go straight to that. Where if it's live at the show, I think it's totally different. If you guys get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do. And like Marcus said, the good point was that when you put it on the internet, it's there forever. If it's at a show, only the people there at the show are going to see it, unless somebody records it and puts it on the thing. You know what I'm saying? It's between those two. Just like when MJF told that guy to stand up, the guy laughed about it. But if you take it out of context, there could be a lot of people get really upset at him. Why would he tell that poor guy in the wheelchair? But that guy in the wheelchair was in on the joke. So it wasn't taken out context. But yeah, I agree with you 100%, Chris. I think he screwed up. I think he just overstepped. I don't know if the guy really meant it. I'm not, I think he's just trying to be a heel, trying to be a jerk, and he screwed up. I know the unfortunate thing.
I don't think he should lose his job.
No.
I mean, if you want to suspend him for a week or two or something, I'll be okay with that. But I don't think he should. It should be as far as like they should try to cancel him out of the business. You know what I mean?
I agree. I don't think he loses his job. The only problem I have, you got a guy like Trey Miguel who said something 7 years ago and still being punished.
Oh no, I agree with you on that.
So they need to be more consistent with that kind of stuff.
We know guys that are kind of blackballed from the business that has been proved that they didn't do what they were accused of. So like,
yeah. I understand. Justin, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think he overstepped the line. But like Chris said, being a professional wrestler, being in the business, I think if it was done at a show, it's not going to be looked at as much, or it's not going to be frowned upon as much, because that as a heel in the business, your job is to make people hate you. So you could ask Marcus. Like there's times where I've gotten Marcus's face and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna beat you with your cane, or I'm gonna do this and that, not because not because I was being a jerk. It's just because it's part of the gimmick and stuff like that. And I've told kids that they've been adopted. I've told, I've done, I've done stuff like that. Like I burned as a heel, I burned a jersey in Chicago Cubs jersey in Chicago, and I get police escorted out of there.
Have you told any kids that you were their dad?
No. I haven't done. I wasn't doing that. I wasn't doing that at 18, 19, 20 years old.
How about now?
Oh, now I might. But no, like as a heel, that's what that's what you want to do, and to add to the point, like social media is, it can be a good tool, but it also can be a bad tool, and
Easy for things to get taken.
we've talked about this. Things can get taken out of context, yes, but also, as everybody knows, things can bite you in the butt. That's why you got to be very careful about what you post. That's why you got to be very careful about what you say, especially when you're in a position with influence, or a position of power, such as an owner of a racing company or a basketball star.
Yeah.
You just got to be careful on what you say, depending on where you are.
I got a funny story about something like that. Almost got taken out of context a couple years ago. I had posted that I had got Coca-Cola 600 tickets for the race a couple years ago, and I think it was Blake Money Wright thought I was saying something else. He said, yeah.
Well, I had a name for a new show, and it got taken out of context.
Yeah. I love your new show, man.
I do too, but
I support it. I fully support it. But no, that's one of my things. Like I always, you always got to be careful on what you say, but do not text somebody's, health or sex or sexual orientation or political views, or whatever the case may be, on social media, because it can backfire on you.
Yeah,
and you've seen it. You've seen it, and you've seen it several times through the wrestling business. With we got Velveteen Dream, who's had stuff. Enzo Amore, who was falsely accused. So there's many incidences, and the incident that the guy that you guys are talking about, the kid's phenomenal. one of the best. I would put him up against anybody, honestly, in the indie circuit, and I'd put him with a lot of guys in AEW.
Yeah.
That's how phenomenal I think that kid is. But
I agree.
but that's the thing. It's you got to be able to watch what you say when you're in a position of influence.
And that's the problem. Once stuff gets out there,
look what happened to Michael Elgin.
yeah, once stuff gets out there, it don't go away.
And
It's there forever.
He's went to court.
He went to court,
proved
done
that
everything
the
he can
stuff
do.
was false, and still ain't been able to get back in.
to get back where he was. So yeah.
Then we could also talk to without throwing any names. We could talk about another situation about with witchcraft and sorcery.
Oh yeah,
Like we could talk about that. We could talk about that. How one person has been constantly accusing workers on the stuff, and then after she accused it, she goes back and says, "I've been lying about it." And then people are screenshotting it and saving it. But then she goes back and deletes everything, and it's like you've already put it out there. People already got a hold of it.
Yep.
Like so.
Yeah.
It's rough. But yeah, I only get upset because I think Trey Miguel deserved his opportunity and he lost it, and I think unjustly. So that was kind of my point on that. But yeah, but I don't want Ricochet. I don't want Ricochet fired. And his poor wife, if the reports are true, she had to deactivate her Twitter because people were sending her death threats, and she didn't even say anything.
Yeah,
and the thing is, the people sending her death threats are no better than what they're accusing Ricochet of.
It's worse.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, you're the one that's threatened to kill somebody. All he said he was glad she had MS. Like, granted, that was screwed up and fucked up, but you shouldn't be messaging his wife and says, he screwed up. He screwed up. Now he owes us blood.
Yeah,
like that's fucked up shit.
Yeah, I agree. But it's not just in wrestling, pretty much in regular life all the time, guys. Unfortunately,
I know, and it's like we all can agree to disagree and have our own opinions, and move on with it. But like, it's not that deep if somebody doesn't agree with you or. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree, guys. Well, let's get out of here. Call this a good show, and we'll be back next Thursday with Facial Heel. Hey, here just a little bit, about 10 o'clock, we'll be on there with GWR. We're going to be talking some NCAA basketball, what's going on today, who's won, who's lost. We'll talk a little NBA, NCAA wrestling, NASCAR. Who knows what the hell we're going to talk. So we'll talk about it.
Hooking the stick tonight.
Whoa!
What? Come down over there.
Yeah. I figured slide that one in there.
We'll see you, everybody, next week, hopefully. Oh, Lord.
Shit. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Have a great night.
Jesus.
That'd be absolutely devastating.
Here, this is Joey Owens' show. They've been trying to get me on this broadcast forever, and this is the worst damn broadcast I've ever been on. So you all can kiss my ass while I win this match.